There we go. Now they can hear us. I tell you, I had it set to the wrong thing. This is your Backlash pre-show, 1650 PWAM, 1650 PWAM, and of course on Twitter, 1650 PWAM. Let me adjust this microphone here. We have Robert Wells back in studio with us this week. It's a record 3 times in a row.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
We're doing pretty good. You have your toenails painted. What is a 31, 30, what are you, 31, 31?
31.
31, 31.
Yeah.
What's a 31-year-old man doing in my house with open-toed sandals on and his toenails painted, wearing a baseball cap and a tank top? What's the story?
Well, I did it just for the show. No, that's the outcome of having 3 little girls, I guess.
Oh, there you go.
And, well, 3 little girls and a son, my son did 1 foot, my daughter did the other foot. So, I was going to go for the fingernails too, but I figured that would be a little too much.
Hey, what father out there who has little girls hasn't had their fingernails or toenails painted? I don't have a daughter. Or I have a stepdaughter, but she's a teenager, and she won't be painting my nails anytime soon.
I'm sure if she was a kid that you would have them too.
Yeah, it probably happened. I'd probably have them gold and red and whatever other colors you got down there on your feet.
I'm rocking the red, white, and pink.
Oh.
They're a little faded. They were done last week.
A little faded. You got to get them touched up then. That'll be next month. We'll see what colors he has next month. Maybe we can get a fan vote going on Twitter. What color should Robert Wells' toenails? You don't want to take a picture of them, though. We don't want to gross out the listeners on Twitter. Okay. But anyway, 1650 PWAM, enough toenail talk. This ain't the beauty shop. This is the barber shop. Anyway, I love that movie. I want to tell you guys, last night, we're going to start off by talking about TAKEOVER Chicago from last night. And if you want to be social with us, feel free to go ahead and click on the chat room there on YouTube and chat with us here. I do want to let you guys know that I just watched TAKEOVER this morning. I barely grazed over the last 2 matches. From what I could gather, they were good, but they were nowhere as good as the undercard was. And I think the timing of the show kind of hurt those last 2 matches as far as quality, because they had a lot to follow after that UK Championship match. Knowing then what we know now, the UK title probably should have main evented the show if it was going to be that good. But let me see here. They did have a few matches here. I'm guessing Aleister Black and Sean Maluda was the pre-show match. I don't think that aired on the main card.
If it did air on the pre-game, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it because I haven't watched the pre-show.
I watched 20 minutes of the pre-show and I never saw a sign of Aleister Black last night, and I thought he was supposed to be on there. I didn't see a sign of him, so he might have got cut.
He could have. So the main show kicked off with Roderick Strong. I'm sorry for the feedback here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of echo.
That's how he describes feedback in the South, ladies and gentlemen. What sound does it make? I don't know. It just makes a Anyway, Roderick Strong kicking off, defeating Eric Young. I thought this was very good. Killian Dane continues to impress me. Every time I see him, Killian Dane impresses me. Let me see here. I'm going to go ahead and open up Skype in case anybody does want to call in. But Killian Dane just continues to impress me the more and more I see him. He's a big dude, and I like him. But as far as the match between Eric Young and Roderick Strong, we said here on 1650 that Roderick Strong will never get over in WWE, partly because he has no personality. And I think WWE has done the one thing that I thought that they couldn't do, and that was give Roderick Strong a personality and to give him, a reason to actually cheer for him, to give a reason to like him. They've done a series of interviews. They've done a series of video packages on him, taking it back to where he grew up and him being raised by his dad and all that. So they kind of, and Roderick Strong, even in the match, showed personality. I think they went with the right thing here by beating Eric Young. Eric Young's really not hurt by this. Not only did Roderick Strong beat Eric Young, he beat Eric Young and Sanity in this match. That was the story, and they told it really well. Robert, what were your thoughts on this one?
Well, I'm about the same with you. He defied the odds. He's the first person who overcome the numbers game. You know, I love it how when his music hit, you know, Eric Young is waiting for him. He comes through the crowd and he takes out the 2 other members of Sanity first. You know, that was pretty cool. The match was awesome. It was a good opener, you know, for the pay-per-view. I'm like you, what you said about the personality deal. I still don't see it. You know, I watched the video packages that they had on him the last couple of weeks, and, you know, I didn't really watch too much of him when he was in ROH. But the match was awesome. And like you said, I don't think it hurts Eric Young for losing last night. The right person, you know, won the fight last night. And I got a feeling they're going to have a rematch. Eric Young will get his win back anyway. But it was an awesome match. It was real good. Good opener for the pay-per-view in Chicago.
They had Drew McIntyre versus Andre Almas here listed here on the match listing that we're looking at. That didn't take place, did it? It's good old Wikipedia for you folks, I guess. But the next match was Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate for the United Kingdom Championship. This right here, I went on Twitter and said it. This right here is now in a tie for my match of the year. Chip Day and Trevor Lee will always hold a real good, you know, to me that's always going to be high praise for me because of the fact that I was there live to see it, and live it was something special. I honestly think, though, this match rivals it, if not tops it a little bit. But if you had to ask me to pick a favorite, I can't really pick one between those two. It was just the crowd itself made this match worth it. No, if you notice, UK fans, take notice here. There was no stupid football chants. There was no singing of songs. The crowd chanted UK, UK, which is about as smarky as it got, really. The crowd was respectful. The crowd was into the match. And they didn't shit all over every fucking thing that happened. I have to praise that crowd in Chicago for this. And the match itself was just, again, it's tied for my match of the year. It's better than those two's first go around last year at the UK tournament that they held over in the UK. To me, it's way better, and I want to see these two go at it again. Robert, what are your thoughts on this?
Oh man, I thought it was awesome. I'm gonna get a little feedback for this. Still haven't seen the Trevor Lee Chip Day.
You need to watch it.
I haven't seen it yet, but last night that match was match of the year for me. You know, the crowd. Oh, still got some of that.
Sorry, go
ahead. That's cool. Still got some of that going on.
It's the headphones, dude.
The crowd, Jim Ross,
yeah,
the two wrestlers, just everything clicked, and that match was just pure awesome. And it was I just got cut off.
They can still hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
We ditched the headphones, folks.
It was awesome. And it was simple, man. You know, simple things to me, like, you know, when do you think an airplane spin would get over in a match? I thought that was one of the best spots of the whole match. But everything, Jim Ross calling it, even Nigel, them two together, man, are real good. I had my doubts about them two being a commentary team together, man, but they were awesome. And after seeing that match, I knew the rest of the card was you know, up shit's creek. You know, I knew the tag match was probably going to follow it, you know, and that's why they put them on in the main event. You know, we'll get to that tag match later here in a few. You know, but it was great, man. I hope they do it again. The right person won it last night. You know, he was getting cheered also, man. The heel was getting cheered in Chicago, but man, I think it was just a show of respect of both men, man. And I'm looking forward to a rematch. I hope it's on a special and not a house show or anything like that where everybody will get to see it. But I don't know if they'll be able to beat this match. It was 10 times better than their UK match, the tournament finals. And it was just pure awesome, man. I was marking out, man. I was calling my son in there. He's going back and forth to his room, and I yelling for him to come look at it, man. Come check out this airplane spin. And my daughter caught when he did the corkscrew, I guess it's a moonsault. Mm-hmm. He did that off the top rope, man. It was just awesome, and the crowd, popped for every little thing they did in that match. And the crowd started chanting it last night, man. You don't get too many of these chants. I know you get a lot of NXT, but that Fight Forever chant, and I could have seen that match, man, for another hour. I would have watched NXT TakeOver Chicago just for that one match if they wrestled the whole 2 hours. It was awesome, and I'm looking forward to it whenever they do it again.
I'll tell you, hold on here. I want to show you something. If this is the right thing. Okay. That's what I'm showing Robert for the first time what Rip Rogers put on Twitter the other week. And I want to say that this match was kind of like that. We got a Fight Forever chant. We got a couple flippy floppy sequences. We got a dive. But what sets this match apart from the match this description that Robert's reading here now is that it told a story. And every dive, every flippy floppy sequence, the airplane spin. If you've been following these two guys since that tournament, it made sense. It told a story, and it's the one time where I think that kind of match is warranted in this case. And they didn't do really too many dives on the outside.
I think you had a total of 3, and Tyler Bate was the one who did all 3 of them. And then at the very end, he messed up on the third one. Yeah. That's where he got caught, and Pete Dunne, got the finish. But
what do you think about what you read right there?
Well, I'm gonna crack on myself. Joey knows I have a hard time reading stuff on my second grade reading level.
I'll read.
I'm on. No, you don't have to read it.
I don't have to read it to you.
No, I read it, man. This is some strong shit. Whoever wrote it,
I mean, apparently Rip Rogers tweeted that out. So.
Wait, tweet that out afterwards?
No, he didn't tweet it out. This was about maybe a week or so ago.
Okay.
But
no, he hit the nail on the head. What they say?
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, most of it is true. Randy Orton then went and took the ... dive is now the new trending hashtag.
Yeah, I'm kind of upset about the Randy Orton deal, man. Him jumping on the Indies guys here the last week or so.
Because he never had to go there. That's just it.
I thought about it, man. OVW, even though it was somewhat of a WWE training territory type deal, I figured that was Indies,
Yeah.
He didn't go from
WWE never showed any footage of it until after these guys had already came up.
Right.
So.
But, yeah, I don't know why I want to mention that. I think it's kind of messed up. I wish he'd just keep his mouth shut,
We then had Asuka defeating Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. I like Ruby Riott's music. I love her music.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I can't get into it. I try. Yeah, I've been one about theme songs, man. I hear a good song, man. I'll listen to that bitch 20 times over and just, I get stuck. But her music, man, and I've listened to it by itself. I went on YouTube and, actually listened to it, and I can't get into it. Maybe it's just, maybe I don't know too much of her. Maybe I don't know, man. I just don't feel it.
Let me see here. So the story of this match was who is finally going to defeat Asuka. She is the number one. It's crazy. Your developmental program. In your developmental program, you have the longest reigning WWE champion, and the longest reigning women's champion. I think. Well, no. Moolah has that. But I don't think she's passed Fabulous Moolah 5 years or whatever it is, but she's the longest reigning champion currently in WWE. 450 something days, I think.
393 days.
393? Okay.
Might be one day off, but it's 393.
So, the story of this match was, can Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross, can either one of them defeat Asuka? I thought it was a good match. They had a lot to follow. I mean, if I'm Pete Dunne or Tyler Bate, I'm full of myself at the end coming back in that curtain. I'm yelling at them, follow that, motherfuckers. Nobody could. And So they were hampered by coming on right after that. The crowd was literally had to have a break after that match, and they got it with this match, unfortunately. Maybe the tag match should have gone on afterwards. I don't know. To me, that NXT title should have main evented. But anyway, that's just me being a traditionalist, I guess. But Asuka, I didn't agree with the finish. Asuka pins both of them at the same time. And now they're sitting there going, who's going to beat Asuka? Yes, I know you got this women's tournament coming up in the summer. But it's like, you still have to get there first. And nobody, you've even brung in outside people such as Mickie James to come in and fight her. And that didn't work. You know, you could say Ember Moon when she comes back from injury. Well, she's fought Ember Moon singles before and beat her there. Asuka has pretty much beaten every single woman in that division over the last year. And, you know, to me, if they make, in my opinion, the finals of this women's tournament should be in the finals, okay? The two, you know, you get left side, right side of your brackets, and those two are going to fight for a chance to face Asuka. And that should be the person to take the title off of her. It makes the tournament seem important. It makes winning the tournament seem important. And it makes whoever wins that tournament damn sure important. My only question is, who do you bring in from the indie scene to face her? Because now you cannot have anybody on that NXT roster beat her. You know? She's beating everybody. The bloom is off the rose. What are you going to do now? Put her in a singles match against Ruby Riott? Well, she just pinned Ruby Riott. She just pinned Nikki Cross. I don't know. The match itself was good. I liked the match itself. Told a real good story. Nikki Cross continues to impress me. Nikki Cross is definitely going to be, once they do put her up on that main roster, she's going to be the character to watch for. I like Nikki Cross. Was happy to see that she changed up her ring gear here. I like Asuka. Asuka had fur on her robe. I'm like, what'd she do? She kill a Wookiee to be on that to get that thing? Ruby Riott, again, just all three of these women impressive. But the main problem I have here is, where do you go from here? Because there's nobody else. I mean, what's that other chick who comes out there? She's a blonde-headed girl. You know who I'm talking about. The name's right on. She hasn't really, I don't think she's had a one-on-one with Asuka yet.
No, I can't think of her name.
But that's how important she is when we can't think of her name. She hasn't really been featured. So, I mean, my main problem with this is they've booked themselves into a corner now with Asuka. Hello, Philip Scully, whoever you are. Thank you for watching and listening. Please feel free, folks, to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, 1650 PWAM. We're covering NXT TAKEOVER and Backlash here. Robert, what were your thoughts on this women's match?
The match itself was okay. I was kind of drained myself, probably like everybody else was, just like the live crowd was, because of the UK match. The match was all right. I like all three women. They did a great job. I did not like the finish, like you said, her pinning both women. Me different from you, though. I think still it's going to be that's a wonderful idea, man. Have the winner of the tournament this summer fight the NXT Women's Champion. You had Triple H. You had Triple H in the Cruiserweight, tournament. He brought the Cruiserweight title back, so on and so on. Let's change it up a little bit, like announce it at the very beginning of this tournament. The winner of this tournament gets to fight Asuka for the NXT title, maybe at SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view after that. It would give a lot of meaning towards the pay-per-view with something to fight for and all that good stuff. But I still think it's going to be an in-house job. I think Ember Moon, when she comes back, if I heard her correctly last night, she said she was grateful it won't no more than 6 months. So I guess she's out for 6 months. I haven't heard that officially. But I think she's going to be the one to take it off of her. Asuka, I told you a couple days ago, I think she just needs to go undefeated. Get up on the main roster, drop the title when it's time for you to go to the main roster. You know, or that's a perfect idea. Asuka's ready to go to the main roster now.
Yeah.
I think she would be great on.
She's been ready for
She would be great on SmackDown. I see her on SmackDown. Have her drop the title. She beat everybody. You have a vacant title now. Let's have this women tournament for the vacant NXT Women's Championship. Because the winner of that tournament, if it's somebody off the indie scenes or somebody in-house, they're going to be on NXT for the few months after the tournament. They're not going to go straight to the main roster, you know. So, but like I said, it was okay, you know, for me. It really didn't matter who won. You know, I guess the right person did win. I wish they would just put a little bit more time and thought into it about, you know, where they're going after here, you know, like we're talking about now. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see who they pull the trigger with.
I look at it like this. You have to have... You can't go out there and half-ass it, too. Whoever does win this women's tournament, you know, they need to have women from all over the world here, you know. Somebody said they think the Scottish lass. I think that's Nikki Cross. I would love to see Nikki Cross as the champion. The problem is, like we said, she just got beat. And I think they've had, I think they were trying to turn Asuka heel in the fact of she had them come out there and disrupt that battle royal, and her demeanor the last couple of months since that match with Ember Moon has been heelish. She's been borderline heelish tweener. You know, the crowd's not going to turn her, but you got to have the winner of that tournament be somebody special. Like, you know, I don't know, if you get a Lufisto from Shine or somebody from Shimmer to come up or somebody big on the indies right now, women-wise, that has got, you know, Su Yung is a real big popular name on the indies that I've heard. Somebody big has got to come up and win that, you know, tournament and knock her off her throne. You then have Bobby Roode versus Hideo Itami, and Bobby Roode defeated Hideo Itami. I like the finish here of the two DDTs, the glorious DDTs. Crowd seemed like they were into it. By this point, though, the crowd was just dead. And I thought, again, I skimmed over most of this match because I had a lot of stuff to do today and didn't get to watch it today. Are any of the IVs... Well, we don't know who's in this tournament. That's just it. We don't. Somebody was asking if the ITV sport women, the World of Sport people, are they in the tournament? We know that there's a women's tournament coming. We know that it's going to be filmed soon. We just don't know who's going to be in it. I'm sure they're in the process now of contacting women, having them go through their physicals, just like they did with the Cruiserweight tournament. They're going to have them go through all the medical clearance. They'll probably spend a week or two down there at the Performance Center to get ready for it, and then they'll tape it at Full Sail, just like they've done before. But anyway, getting back to Bobby Roode and Itami. Itami needed to take the loss here. I'm sorry. Bobby Roode's train has not yet run off course yet. With me, they need to keep him on his course. They need to keep him winning, keep him strong. Hideo Itami, I think the bloom is off the rose with him. He's been down in NXT, I think they said, since 2014?
Yep. September 2014.
And so that's almost 3 years. Half the time, it's been injury. He's been out for injury. So he's very injury prone. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets injured again in another week or two, you know, because they got to film NXT this Wednesday at Full Sail probably. So, but anyway, the match, what I saw of the match was good. You know, Philip in our chat room says he thinks Roderick Strong's going to be the next guy to come up. No. Roderick Strong just got his first big win. So I don't think it's not time for him yet. Rumor is it's Drew McIntyre, which is going to be a good feud, you know. But, and as far as Hideo, after the match, they released a video of him kind of tearing up the locker room and butting heads kind of with Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno. So it's I like the direction they're going. You're going to get good matches out of it. Neither one of them, I think, is going to have a big match feel to it, though. You know, so, but Robert, your thoughts on Bobby Roode and Itami?
Well, just like always, glorious entrance. You know, it was great. it's funny, a little side story I told you before. You know, my little girl, she's 18 months, 19 months, and about 5-6 months ago, she heard that song for the first time, and she started throwing her hands up and started yelling "Glorious." And she waited to go to bed last night till she heard that, and she sat right there in front of the TV during the whole thing and didn't move. It was awesome. But, you know, the match itself, man, I love Bobby Roode, man. Like you said, his deal ain't over with yet. He's got a couple more. He's gonna have a nice long title run, in my opinion. Tommy, I knew he wasn't gonna win it because if he did, where did you go from there? To me, he's not. Maybe if in 2014, if he didn't get injured, yeah, maybe he would have been in the championship hunt. He might have been NXT champion. He might have been already on the main roster by now. You know, but he's lost all his feel. You know, he stayed gone for a year and a half. He came back, and then a couple of weeks after being back, he got injured again. He was supposed to have a feud with Austin, you know, and he got hurt a few weeks before that. Didn't even get to have that match, you know, and that's what they tried to build. You know, in the video package, he's been hurt all this time, but he's coming straight up to the damn NXT title. Which, you know, okay. Kind of lost words.
Well, I mean, the thing is that they haven't had a whole lot of build between these two.
No, they didn't. They had 4 weeks, about 4 or 5 weeks, and only 2 of them times when they interacted. The very first time they interacted, he hit him with the go to sleep, knocked him out. Then the last time they had was the Wednesday before, was this past Wednesday. They got into a little scruffle and he hit it again. And that was the story of the night they talked about in the pregame show. Can he hit the GTS? That was really the only thing I wanted to see. And I did get to see it, and he rolled to the outside after he hit it. And the crowd, you know, I was thinking the crowd was going to go ape shit when he hit that move. Me personally, I really didn't think the crowd cared. You got a little bit of a CM Punk chant when he did hit it. It kind of died out, which you didn't need it anyway because no disrespect, he's not there no more. So what the hell you gonna chant his name during somebody else's match?
It's Chicago though.
Yeah, it's Chicago. It's his hometown. I get all that. But the ending was good. The glorious DDT. He flipped it over and did it again. It was great. It ended the way it should have. He pinned him clean. Now you can have Bobby Roode go on and do something else. You can turn a Dale Tommy heel now. That's where I think they're going with it. You might get a face-on-face match out of him and Hero, and which would be good. All these, where they're going with this after is good. I just didn't see Tommy winning the thing, and I'm pretty glad, man, they didn't main event. I did not see that match. I'm just like you. That title should main event each show. Your main title should main event the show. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, that don't seem like a main event to me, unless you was gonna have somebody come in, interfere, or after Bobby Roode won, you were gonna have some big name come in, and that's how they were gonna close the show or something like that. I just didn't see that as the main event to close the show. And it went the way it should have been, and I'm looking forward to what they're doing with the NXT title. So.
Speaking of Punk, every time there was a CM Punk chant last night, they got booed out of the building. For Chicago, that's crazy to me, because that's, their favorite guy. There's a Twitter account claiming to be 5-star wrestling promoter Daniel Hinkles today. And this was actually posted May 21st. I'm delighted to announce that CM Punk will participate in our 128-man tournament starting June 10th in Liverpool. Get your tickets now. That is a fake Twitter account. The real Twitter account is at 5-star wrestling, and he put, to be clear, the at Daniel Hinkles account is a fake account. This tweet was not made by anybody affiliated with 5-star wrestling. Big rumor going around that CM Punk is going to hit the indies pretty soon. What are your thoughts?
Well, I read something, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know if it was this same Twitter account, but I heard that the 5-star wrestling promotion offered him $1 million to be in this tournament, this tour they're going to do in this tournament, and that they've been trying every which way to get a hold of him, and they can't get him through friends, through other companies, through everything, and they can't get an answer from him. Now I believe that. Now this right here, what I'm reading now, I don't believe that. That's a bunch of bullshit. Because if it does, it's gonna light up the internet on fire if he decides he's gonna go get on the indie scene and join a tournament. You know.
My thing is, what about this What Culture tournament? You know, they're advertising, 5-Star Wrestling is advertising a 128-man tournament. I thought the people at What Culture Pro Wrestling were announcing a huge tournament too. I really hadn't heard anything about that. They were going to have Jim Ross call the one in America and the one in England and everything. Apparently that's not going to happen. But anyway, getting back to NXT here. The main event was the Authors of Pain, Akam and Razor with Paul Ellering. They defeated DIY. This was your standard tag team ladder match. You had your cool spots in it. From what I saw of it, again, I skimmed through it. But the real story was after this. This match was an afterthought. Yes, your Authors of Pain are still your tag titles. Where do they go from here? Again, I don't know because they've beaten just about every tag team that there is out there in NXT land. Unless they're going to start up the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, and the winner of that gets Authors of Pain, match for the titles. But the main story after this match was DIY's up on the ramp and they're hugging each other and everybody's giving them praise, and you even said it. They put the credits up at the end, copyright 2017 or whatever. Like, you think that's it? They're going off the air? Nope. Ciampa, rams Gargano into the video wall. I think they will tombstone Hideo into his grand. What does that mean? Do you think the attack at the end of the match was good? I like the move off the commentary table. We're getting there. Ciampa throws Gargano into the video wall, gives him a couple high knees up onto where the commentary was. And that move he gave, somebody called it an invertive belly-to-back pile driver. To me, it's always been called, if you look at the WWE video games, it's the Emerald Fusion is what they call it. So he gives him the Emerald Fusion, and I'm thinking he's going to give it to him on the announcer's table. I never expected his ass to leap backwards onto 3 other tables that they had painted up as anvil cases. They were red tables. Red tables. Hashtag red tables. Anyway, then... so he gave him the Emerald Fusion backwards off of the platform where the commentators were, and just, this was awesome. I like the ending of this. I said this months ago. Go back on the channel. Go back and listen to old episodes of New Search Live when we were still doing New Search Live. And I said it. If this team ever splits up, it's got to be Ciampa going against Gargano. And the main reasoning is... I hate to have it come off this way, but Ciampa was always the lesser man in that tag team. Nobody ever chanted Tommaso, Tommaso. They always chanted Johnny Wrestling whenever that team was on. So I like the idea of Tommaso playing the heel. You're going to probably, the word is that they're splitting them up so they can debut them up at the main roster. Before you do that, you need to have a one-on-one match with them in NXT. Possibly at TakeOver Brooklyn again. So, and have it be a tables match or something, or street fight, something. It needs a gimmick if you're going to have these two go at it. It can't be a straight wrestling match. But, Robert, what are your thoughts on the tag match and what happened after?
Well, the actual match itself, I hate to say it, man. I fell asleep during the entrances and woke up right when the turn happened. I skimmed back through it, saw a couple spots. I like where they were hanging from the titles, and the Authors of Pain. They called them, did where they run them into each other with the powerbomb deal.
Yeah, I forget the name of it myself.
Everybody out there listening to me, y'all know what I'm talking about. So, I thought it was pretty cool. I didn't see it coming. I mean, it really didn't. I thought it main evented the show. After seeing the heel turn, that's why it main evented the show. That's how you were going to end the pay-per-view. I thought it was just going to be, it was going to top every fucking match on the card last night. I even had it was going to get, it was going to be right there with the UK match, or better. I did not see the heel turn coming, but it was awesome. It was great. I like the direction they're going. They can go take it all the way back to the Cruiserweight tournament when they fought each other in the Cruiserweight tournament. You know, Johnny Wrestling, he beat him then, and they stretched it out for a long time. And I guarantee you, in a couple of promos you will get in the leading up the next couple of weeks, he's going to mention that.
As well,
that you know, he's going to mention that, how he's been holding on to that loss, and he finally snapped. I love the looks they were, you know, they were giving each other last night. It was just, you know, it was good. I love the way the pay-per-view ended. You don't get too many pay-per-views ending on a note like that. I think the last time you got something that, you know, that big as far as heel turn ending a pay-per-view was when Kevin Owens turned on Sami Zayn after he won the title. You know, and you didn't see it coming. They love to fool you. They put the credit down there at the bottom and you get it to go off. Yeah, it's a great night. Then bam, you know, it hit you, man. It hit me. It woke me up. I was half asleep and it just woke me 100% up. And I went back and watched the whole pay-per-view again afterwards, man. And far as where they go with it after now, the Authors of Pain. What's the name? You have to help me here. What's the name of the guys they beat in the finals of the Dusty Rhodes tournament? EYG, EK.
They used to be called the Mighty Don't Fall. I know who you're talking about, though. I just don't know their name.
Damn it, I can't think of their name. Anyway, TK61 or TM. Okay. You know, one of them's out on the injury list right now. I think they're going to come back soon. My prediction is, man, they're going to be the ones that beat them for the titles. And, like, yeah, they're a small team. They're small guys.
They're putting them up against that Masters of Destruction.
What they call heavy machinery? Yeah.
TM61, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
But they're going to go up against heavy machinery.
Well, I don't look for heavy machinery to get them. I'll be honest with you, dude. I only seen them one time, and that was glancing, walking past the TV while NXT was on. I couldn't tell you nothing about them dudes, what they look like. Are they white, black, or anything? I just, you know, I don't know. I got a feeling they're going to go right on through to them. But TM61, they'll be the ones who get them off of them. And as soon as they beat them, then that's when the Authors of Pain around WrestleMania season next year will get called up. They're gonna finish out this year in NXT. Then they're gonna get called on up. And Paul, you know, that was cool for him last night. They mentioned it on the pregame. The history, man. They were in Chicago. All the, you know, him and LOD deal. You know, that was cool. I figured he would get a little bit more pop than what he did last night. But it was cool, man. I hope when they do go to the main roster, man, that he goes with them. That he needs to go with them because he's the mouthpiece. He's their, you know, he's Paul Heyman, and they're almost like Brock Lesnar. They need to. That's what you're gonna need, and he can talk for them when they go on the main roster. You know, it'd be great. But all in all, man, the whole pay-per-view, man, was good.
It wasn't bad.
They weren't bad. I give it a man an 8 out of 10. It was awesome. It was good.
Better than Payback.
Yes, it was.
It was better than Payback.
And I have a feeling. I hate to say this, man. You know, we haven't went over the card yet, but I got a feeling it's going to be better than tonight. You know, they made that comment. Backlash has a lot to live up to tonight, and there's only one match tonight that might live up to it, and we'll get into that here in a minute.
They're not going to give it a whole lot of time either. I think I know where you're going with that. But let's get into Backlash. 1 year ago, Backlash was in July, I want to say.
September.
It was in September, actually, and we attended it. This year it's in May, right after WrestleMania, kind of. Let's start with your pre-show. It's coming up in about 20 minutes. We got 20 minutes to blow through 8 matches here. Dillinger and English, I don't care. Ty's going to win. Dylan English needs to go back. They need to repackage him in NXT. This is where your developmental system can shine. You send Aiden English, now that Simon Gotch is gone, you send Aiden English back down to NXT. Not that English has done anything wrong, and you need to make it kind of clear to the man that, look, you haven't done anything wrong. It's just the fact that we need to rebuild you. We need to repackage you. We need to get you back over with these people, and we're going to send you back down to NXT to do it. That's what a developmental system is supposed to do. When one guy in baseball gets, lame, or when he's coming back from a real big injury, what do? You send him back to play a couple minor league games. So that's what they need to do with Aiden English. He's, and they need to repackage him. The singing thing ain't gonna work with him. But Ty Dillinger's going over here. Robert, any thoughts on this pre-show match?
10, 10, 10. That's it for me. I could care less about it. I like Ty Dillinger. I hope he wins, but at the end of the day, I really don't care too much about it. They're filling time for the kickoff show.
We're going to start at the bottom here. Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. I wasn't even aware. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't watch SmackDown that much, honestly. Usually because here lately I've been so tired with work that I haven't been able to watch it. What the hell are you doing? It's coming through on the mic. Anyway, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Again, it doesn't matter who wins and who loses this one because they've both been booked like shit. But your thoughts on this one?
The only thought I do have, don't get me wrong, I like both of them. I like Luke Harper a little bit better than Eric Rowan. Mm-hmm. This match should have happened a year ago. They broke up the Wyatts I don't know how many times, or they all went their separate ways. And this ain't the first time that they were on supposing teams of in 2014 of the Survivor Series. Yep. And I figured back then you would have got your one-on-one match, or you could have had that big blow-off one-on-one match between them a long time ago. Now it's just getting thrown together. I don't think nothing's going to come out of it. You don't have Bray Wyatt there leading them, which I'm not saying they need it. But it just got thrown together here in the last week or two. I think Eric Rowan got a win over him a couple weeks ago. I'm just like you. I haven't watched SmackDown in about 4 weeks, except glimming through it, I'm going with Luke Harper here. I hope they don't give it too much time, because you got 1 or 2 matches on the card here tonight that need time. So hopefully it's quick. Luke Harper gets the pinfall clean, and where you go with him after this, I don't know.
Next, you have Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. This one's an interesting one to me of who they... It's obvious Baron Corbin's getting put over here because Baron Corbin, they've said it now, Baron Corbin's going to be the next guy to, he's going to be the next guy. They like him. I've liked him. I liked him since he was in NXT. He's a tall guy. Very, he's got a good build to him. He ex-football player. He's not a big indie darling. So here, Baron Corbin to me has to go over if they're gonna push him to the moon like they say they are. Corbin needs a win here. Sami Zayn, man, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. He's always going to get that babyface reaction. I don't think you could turn Sami Zayn heel ever. But your thoughts on this one?
I'm going with Corbin. I saw a little bit of build to this match. They've been building this match for the last 4 or 5 weeks. I remember he attacked Sami Zayn on Talking Smack, and he gave him a pretty good beating, and then Shane came out and suspended him for 1 whole week without pay. They've been trading beatings back and forth the last couple of weeks. But like you said, he's the next guy that's going to be up there. I got a feeling before the year's up with, I see him fight for that WWE Championship around maybe Survivor Series time. Mm-hmm. And not saying he'll get it, but he's going to be one of your top guys. I heard that Vince is high on him. So, yeah, he needs a win. I don't think it's going to hurt Sami Zayn because he's lost so many damn times. And don't get me wrong, he wins too. But it ain't going to hurt him either which way. Now, if for some reason he does beat him, I got a feeling it'll be by DQ or some bullshit finish. But then Corbin, he'll get the win back. But I look for Corbin to go over. End of days, 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring, and he goes on to his next feud next month. Maybe even, I didn't say this to you the other day, but maybe Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I could see him winning that. Honestly, I could definitely see Baron Corbin winning Money in the Bank and carrying that briefcase around for a year.
Having a wolf on the briefcase.
All the wolf on it, the lone wolf and everything. Honestly, I'll go ahead and say it right there. There's your Money in the Bank winner if they're going to push him. That's a good idea. I like that. Your next match that I have on this list here is Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dolph Ziggler. This is your co-main event, honestly. If not your main event. If they want to make Nakamura a star, you main event this. and you do it as a short main event. You have him go in there, kick the puck out of Ziggler, 1, 2, 3. You do a Goldberg-style match with Nakamura to lead it off. I don't think, have him do the elaborate entrance or whatever. Have Ziggler get a couple of moves in. But I think this ends quickly. I don't see this being... Everybody's hyping it up to be, Ziggler can go. Ziggler's a good worker. He's a technical guy. And they're going to put him in there with Nakamura. This is a good guy for them to put Nakamura in. I'm telling you right now, and it would surprise me if WWE lets this match go longer than maybe 15 minutes. I see it under 10, honestly. I don't see them giving us the time because Nakamura, they need to get a Nakamura. Yes, the Michael Jackson thing, and yes, he's charismatic, but they also need to have him come across as a complete fucking badass, and you ain't gotten that feeling from him yet on SmackDown, really. So I think Nakamura's definitely going over here. There's no doubt about that, but the way he goes over, I look for it to be fast, I look for it to be impactful, and I look for it to, just really make an impact with him. What are your thoughts on this?
Nakamura, he's definitely going to go over tonight. He's not losing tonight. But I'm different than you. I'm a big Dolph Ziggler fan. And you're right. My opinion, they're putting him in there with the right guy. They want Shinsuke to work, then Dolph Ziggler's going to be the one to get it out of him. Mm-hmm. I don't want it to be quick. I'm calling it now that they're going to have a 15-minute, maybe plus match. I'm calling it, I want to see it main event. You've been hyping the hell out of this damn match. You didn't even have Nakamura on the show Friday night. I think Dolph Ziggler... Tuesday night, excuse me. Damn, I'm going back in time. He cut a promo from the locker room, and that was it. I want to see this match main event the pay-per-view. I want to see it go 15 plus. I want to see back and forth action. I want to see something like I saw when I first saw Nakamura, him and Sami Zayn. If you go back to WrestleMania weekend of Dallas, WrestleMania NXT TakeOver Dallas, where he first debuted, he had a killer match with Sami Zayn. It wasn't one-sided. It was back and forth. To me, that match, for me being the first time ever seeing Nakamura, that made him look like a badass to me. And I think they got the potential on doing it tonight. Yes, you need to let him main event it. You need to let it go 15 plus. You need to do all this stuff to make Nakamura, in Vince's eyes, he wants to see him as the new, kind of like taking John Cena's place, or the new John Cena. You have potential to do it. Nakamura can do it, and I believe he will do it. So I'm looking forward to that. I was hoping we were gonna talk about that match last. Sorry. But it's all good.
Then you have the only big problem I have is that Vince books things very differently than what Triple H does. Yes, Triple H and Vince are kind of supposed to be co-heads of creative, but at the end of the day, Vince's way is law. So I just think I think Vince sees him as, you're going to go out there, you're going to fucking tussle around for about 5 minutes, you're going to kick him in the fucking head, leave him 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And it's badass. Either way, it's going to be good. But Naomi, Charlotte Flair, and Becky Lynch versus the Welcoming Committee, which is Natalya, Carmella, and Tamina with James Ellsworth. Who gives a fuck? And I hate to say that about Charlotte, about Naomi, Becky, even Carmella, Tamina, and Natalya. Who gives a fuck? It's been nothing but a shit show since the damn Superstar shakeup. The heels are the Welcoming Committee. Honestly, Flair better turn at the end of this damn thing. Yeah. So I see them getting the win, but I also see Flair wanting... Who's your champion, Naomi?
Yeah.
So, yes, I see them all getting in the win. They all three go to raise each other's hands, and all of a sudden Charlotte just fucking decks Naomi or whatever. Unless Charlotte does her heel turn, because she's not good as a babyface, what's the point of this match? Your thoughts?
There's no point of this match. It's just to fill time. Maybe to get Charlotte with the Charlotte Flair with the baby faces, to get her, try to get her over. She's already over them in my eyes. I've been reading a lot of stuff this week that there was second guessing her baby face turn. They're just gonna go on and keep her heel, which you should have done that to begin with. I'd rather seen Charlotte Flair versus Naomi for the SmackDown Women's Championship at Backlash instead of this 6-woman bullshit. No, I like Charlotte Flair. I like Becky Lynch. The rest of them I could really care less about. I'm not Naomi. Naomi?
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not a fan of hers. Natalia. Carmella. I can't stand her ass. Tamina, she should have stayed her ass at home. And Ellsworth, he damn geek. This will be where I go take my second piss of the night, or I go get my fifth slice of pizza.
There you go. That's the pizza match right there. Then you got I'm going to skip around here. You got the Usos versus Breezango. The internet and Twitter alike are going gaga over this. Everybody's wanting Breezango to win this. Don't see it happening, folks. Or if they do win it, they're losing it on Tuesday. Sorry. I like Tyler Breeze. Me and you know this. I'm a Tyler Breeze fan. I don't like the fact that he's been paired up with Fandango. I don't like this team. I never have liked the team. I don't get the Village People thing. It just comes across as stupid and silly and, like you said, geeky about, James Ellsworth. These two are below James Ellsworth, if you ask me. I like Tyler's work. Tyler Breeze deserves better than this. He stayed in NXT probably a year longer than he fucking should have because they weren't sure about him. And they were wrong to do it. And then they bring his ass up on the main roster and they stick him with this shit. It's an injustice to him. Maybe, who knows? Maybe maybe they'll get the damn titles and then they finally start treating them seriously. I don't see that, but I can't take. How can you take Fandango seriously at all? But big part of me just wants to see the Usos win here. Your thoughts?
This is where I get my sixth slice of pizza. I like the Usos, man. I like Tyler Breeze when he was in NXT. Mm-hmm. When he was in NXT, he was putting on killer matches with Finn Balor, Hideo Itami, Liger at NXT Brooklyn. Yep. That match was awesome. He came to the main roster. He had a cup of coffee with Dolph Ziggler, and that really didn't go off like they wanted it to. Then he went to shit. He disappeared. You see him here and there. He's on main event, superstars, not doing nothing. Fandango, he had his cup of coffee, damn it, WrestleMania 29 a long fucking time ago. And the only reason he's probably still there is because you might get that chant once in a while when the damn crowd wants to sing his stupid-ass theme song. This match is only being, it's a play, this is being put in place until the New Day come back. When New Day comes to SmackDown, they're coming. They're going to be the ones that take the titles off of the Usos. Yep. You're going to get a couple matches out of that. They're going to be the ones to take them off the Usos. Breezango, or whatever you want to call them, are not winning the tag titles tonight. I'm sorry. I still don't like neither one of them. I look for the match to be short. It might fool you a little bit where you think.
You get a lot of false finishes.
Yeah, you're going to have a bunch of false finishes where you think they're going to get it and the crowd's going to eat the shit up and every damn thing else. But they're going to lose at the end of the day. And they might get another match in the next week or two on SmackDown. But I look for the Usos to retain, and Breezango will be down by the wayside.
Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles for the United States Championship here. If they give this time, I want to see these two get at least 30 minutes on this show. And I want them to go out there and just give us what we know they can. I look for this to be match of the night. I think as this is what you were going to be bringing up here as far as your match of the night pick. And I look for AJ to go over on this one. Or, who knows? Honestly, this is a toss-up for me, honestly. Kevin Owens probably needs the win more than AJ does. But I could totally see the winner of this match is going to face the winner of the WWE title match. or the loser of this match is going to face the winner of the winner of the WWE title match. That's just how WWE likes to book things. If it's Owens losing, you're going to have him come out on Tuesday and interrupt the winner of the damn main event. If which I think the title is going to probably main event this show. It's been a good story told between these two. The match has been set for a while now, ever since they had that number one contenders match. Honestly, if I had to pick a winner here, I think Kevin Owens retains. AJ's not hurt by losing. Like I said, we'll get to it in the main event here. But AJ's probably going to go on to face, for the title next, at Money in the Bank. Or he may even be in the Money in the Bank match. I'll put it to you this way. Whoever loses this match is in the Money in the Bank match, or they're fighting for the belt. The other person who wins this match is in the Money in the Bank match no matter what, because they always have the Intercontinental title person or the U.S. title person. The last few years has been in the Money in the Bank match because they don't have a match, because it just gives them some notoriety and gives them something to do. So the winner goes on to Money in the Bank. The loser goes on to fight for the title at Money in the Bank. And Robert, what are your thoughts on Owens and AJ?
I think it's going to be a great match. I look for them to get about 20, 25 minutes. That's about it. It's going to be great back and forth. I mean, I'm not saying Kevin Owens ain't a great worker, but AJ is going to make him work for his shit tonight. They're both they're going to test each other. It's just going to be a great match. No, I'm going to correct you. No, I still think Nakamura and Dolph Ziggler is going to beat this match out the water.
Really?
And it's a toss up between them two matches for me. I look for AJ to lose tonight. I think Kevin Owens is going to go over. If I want who I want to win, I want AJ to win. But Kevin Owens is going to go over tonight. To go back to the Nakamura deal, Nakamura is going to beat Ziggler. I think you're going to have Nakamura and Kevin Owens out of this. Or you're going to have both of them in the Money in the Bank. The week after tonight, next Tuesday night or the week, they're going to have number one contenders. I think AJ will get it. And he'll go on to fight the WWE champion at Money in the Bank. I don't think AJ is going to be in the Money in the Bank match. He might, since he won it last year. I got a feeling he's going to fight for the title. And I got a feeling if AJ wins, that's going to put Jinder Mahal winning that tonight. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have Jinder versus AJ Styles for the WWE championship at I don't even know SmackDown's next. Oh, excuse me, Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, that's SmackDown. That's SmackDown only. Yeah. I look for that. I don't look for that match to main event Money in the Bank, but I look for that match to happen at the next SmackDown pay-per-view. So I'm going with Kevin Owens tonight. AJ going all to do the number one contender deal after this, and maybe getting his one-on-one rematch for the championship.
So we have, brings us to our main event. We got 2 minutes to discuss this main event. If we go over a little bit, it's okay. Randy Orton is your champion versus Jinder Mahal. Look, for everybody sitting there, and I was one of them. Jinder Mahal? Really? The Bollywood boys with him? I like the Bollywood boys, or the Singh boys with Jinder. I like this. The match, I have to say, the match itself has had a damn good build to it. It's had a damn good storyline behind it. They've continued it, since Payback last month. Or this past, what was it, Payback 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago. So, they've continued the storyline. Despite the fact that, it's Jinder Mahal, you got to admit they've told a damn good story with these two. And coming off of the House of Horrors match, Randy Orton needs a good match in front of him. I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say that, the last two pay-per-views for them, WrestleMania and that House of Horrors, has been lame duck matches for Randy Orton. It hadn't been going the way they thought it would. Maybe that has to do with WWE's booking. I don't think it has anything to do with Orton myself. Maybe it could. But I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say right now, Jinder Mahal is walking out with that belt tonight. It fits. It fits the storyline. We need a heel champion. On that brand. So, who's champion on Raw? It escapes me. Lesnar, okay? So you need a heel right now carrying this company, I think. one that's seen every single week. It's just Vince's MO. It's what he's always done. And it fits. I think it's time to do it. I've always liked when they, going back to Muhammad Hassan. I liked Muhammad Hassan. I liked it. And then the London bombings happened and Undertaker got rid of him. It's been a little while. It's time to have that fucking, Arabic or fucking, whatever Indian champion. It's